9 million. Water projects works 4.2. Sand dam and wear 15 million. Drum store 8.1 million. Public toilet 766,000. Water pump house 5 million. Incinerator 198,000. Water chiller house 379,000. And then we have a breakdown of the machine and installation, which costed 364,089,000. The first item is electricity 3-phase, 2.7 million. Electrical installation 4.1. Power generator 1.5. Voltage regulator 120,000. Controller 185,000. Web bridge incinerator indicator 3.8 million. Puri line 92.9 million. Oyster forklift 3 million. Power generator, that is for the main factory, 9.7. Chemical dozer 1.2. Drilling machine 95. Boiler, air compressor and cooling tower, that's 7 million. Water chiller 7.1. 3-ton electrical digital scale 332. Internet connectivity 3.9. Water purification system 3.9. Wastewater management plant 10 million. Joyce reconstitution line 157.2 billion. Reverse osmosis 1.2. Water manual bottling plant 1.2. Server 479. Reverse osmosis 8.4. Liquid nitrogen cylinder 1.3. Weighing machine 164,000. Water installation cable 630. Yes, giving a total of 364 million. Total sum used in the purchase of mangoes for miscommissioning to date indicate every financial year against the sales of all the revenue realized. A total of 129,279,320 has been spent on purchase of mangoes from inception now to date. There is a table showing the financial year, the kgs purchased, the total value of the mangoes, the puree produced in kgs, and the cost, the puree sold, and the amount, and the tonnage, and the amount, and the amount of money served to CRF for each respective year, showing that the mangoes purchased in kgs was 65,000 and something, or 6.5. Value of mangoes purchased was 129,000 as indicated above. The puree produced was 3.2 kgs. Puree sold in Kenya shillings for 229,896,000. Puree sold in kgs was 2.9. Puree sold within the time was 219,688, and the amount transferred to CRF was 224,949,696. C. Since one of the main objectives of the job creation, objectives was job creation, list the number of employees currently working at the authorities, separating those in permanent engagement from these in temporary, as temporary. Then there are 13 employees working at the plant currently. Only 2 of them are permanent and pensionable. The rest of the 11 are engaged on contract terms as detailed below. Of course, there's a tabulation there of the 11 plus a 2. I will not read the names. Additionally, on need basis, between 70 and 100 cashiers are hired to support in various activities and directly through engagement of contractor service providers. D. 1 tons of mangoes were bought in the last 2 seasons. what was the price per kilo catcher. Funds for operations have been transferred to MCFDMA account for ease of operations. Is the value for money, the value for money in the entire, is there value for money in the entire investment? If yes, demonstrate how, and if no, give action plan to actualize value for money from the plant. If there is value for money realized through provision of an alternative market for mangoes, reduction of post-harvest losses as demonstrated in the sale of mangoes of the last 2 seasons, and the stabilization of the price of mangoes in the county. It has created employment directly, in which there are 13 employees on need basis. Between 70 and 80 cashiers are hired to support in various activities, and directly through engagement of contractors and service providers. Whether there was a feasibility study before the establishment of the plant, if yes, provide the report. Yes, the feasibility study was done, and the report is attached herein. Number 2 of a project is Makueni County Integrated Grain Value Addition Plant in Makindu. The total cost is 296 million, 32,505. The amount invested is a tabulation showing the financial year, the amount in Kenya shillings, the source of funding, all the way going up to that amount I have quoted. B, whether the plant is operational. If yes, give a breakdown. The plant has been tested with green grams and all the machine components to confirmed to be working well. The Department of Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries, and Corporate Development worked out an operation model and value addition services to clients at a competitive fee as is provided for in the finance. The machines have been surfaced in readiness for operation. The following stocks have been processed: green grams, star beans, kidney beans, pigeon peas, cow peas. Green gram stocks processed on the 18th of test run. The tabulation there is given. Give the details of employees at the plant, including terms of engagement. We have 3 members clerk. The responsibilities of each is tabulated. The operating capital, that is D. Give bank details, including statement. All the financial operations are run under the department. Is there value for money? There is partial value for money realized from the drying process, which controls implementation of proposed activities with phase 1 of implementation, given that will cost. It consists of service provision and of a retail packaging. Machine to facilitate packaging of 1, 2, or 5 kilograms, as opposed to the current state. which packaging is at wholesale level of 50 kgs. Formation of a legal end outcomes of the food value chain. As expounded below, a benchmarking visit was done to Mombasa Manjengo market and Kenchik the poultry industry as linkages with other sectors of the economy, such as input in supplies, feed manufacturers, breeders, traders, and processors, as well as consumers. The poultry meat and 8.00 eggs, giving an annual turnover of 2 billion, while per capita poultry consumption was 0.8 kgs. The poultry value chain is an enterprise with potential to transform the county rural economy, especially the poor, women, and the youth. Kitese Ward has previously benefited from poultry promotion initiatives supported by other agencies, and the slaughterhouse was intended to provide a realistic avenue to market live birds, freshly slaughtered carcasses for customers, and improve on slaughter hygiene, which had seen them lose up niche markets to prime suppliers. The problem analysis had reviewed situation which works to the disadvantage of farmers. The middlemen feeding these major markets function at different levels. Data comprised of a few who aggregate and transport bars through public means to major urban areas. Speaker, in summary, both projects were meant to address challenges of poorly organized marketing structures, low compliance with sanitary requirements for slaughter and marketing, poor and high cost of farm inputs, fluctuation in poultry production and disease outbreaks. While the expected outcomes were access to reliable marketing channel for improved household incomes, creation of employment opportunities along various months in the poultry value chain, and also food and nutrition security. Number B, the total cost of the exception to date is 33,400,000 spread over 2 financial years, 2018 and 2019 and 2019-2020. Whether the slaughterhouse is operational, the national government with technical cooperation from Hungarian government has shown interest in the development of Kitese Poultry Slaughterhouse to undertake the following works: to finalize the main structure with the floor, area of ventilation, fly screens, aluminium ceilings, and changing rooms and ablution blocks. Supply, installation, and testing slaughter equipment and machinery. Supply and install the cold room. Construct water harvesting and land capacity storage structures. Construct a biosecurity fence around the slaughterhouse with an entry and exit gates. Construction of waste management structures, including septic tanks, lagoons, and incinerators. Supply and install power backup generators or solar power supplies. The envisioned support from the national government occasioned lapse in the project implementation from financial year 2019-2020. Where the slaughter ticket is applied to, the information cannot be provided since the slaughterhouse is not already operating. The number of chickens slaughtered, of course, that goes the same route. The total cost of slaughterhouse, including salaries, there are no running costs, so no salaries paid. List of employees employed, of course, the same route. Whether there is value for money, there cannot be value for money cannot be realized with no operation, but the facility is a strategic asset in the development of poultry value chain in the county. Plans for making the slaughterhouse better and realize value for money. The department intends to undertake a comprehensive technical feasibility of the project to address gaps that arose out of lack of initial feasibility study. A technical feasibility will explore a number of options, like in developing a business model for the enterprise aligned to the World Circle model. This requires community business-oriented engagement and startup capital to operationalize the facility. 2, outsourcing a strategic partner to operationalize a cafeteria business. 3, enhancing strategies for production and market linkage for sustained egg and meat production, improved breed, feeds development, disease control, aggregation, and value addition. Mr. Speaker, that is a response requested by member for Mali. Thank you.
Question of the statement.
about the sales of mango. And Honorable Speaker, I've done some survey just within. I met Honorable Dennis, who's a farmer. He informed me the much he sold a mango from the last financial year was 7 bob per kg. I went ahead the Speaker, I'm happy. Some of the staffs are serious investors in farming, in mango farming. They gave similar information. The price was between 5 bob to 7 bob. Then here is the committee talking about 20 to 18 shillings, which they can't substitute because I happen to be a neighbor of Kiliri Kamba Ward, where there is production of mangoes, and then Siu too, where I usually pass. There is cry about low offers for their produces, especially during this period. And therefore, the 20 bob cannot be true as the information I'm getting from the farmers. Remember, what we are consuming here, we are consuming on behalf of the farmers. Honorable Speaker, about value for money, honestly, a 600 million investment with only 13 employees. And the committee is certified and agrees that there is value for money in that investment. That must be a very serious joke, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, they are saying the plant is only operational within the busiest part of the year, which is only between December and February, meaning the operation of the facility is only within 1 quarter of the year. And when we are talking about value for money, the committee is satisfied that there is value for money. Yes, I stand here, I want to challenge the committee. At least sometimes we take some matters serious. Even if you go to just to the local hotels, beginning with the Pamutindi, you will realize he has more employees than this plant. You will realize just the simple supermarkets, the whole investment is less than 5 million. They have more employees than an investment worth almost 1 billion shillings, Honorable Speaker. Over 600 million shillings, Honorable Speaker. They are saying it in need be. They are not justifying the need be. They can get 70 to 100 employees. Therefore, on this matter, they are not showing, there is no commitment to ensure that there is prudent utilization of these resources. Our people get benefit of that investment, that which can encourage farmers to create. Of course, agriculture is one of the industries that is creating jobs for our people. And with seriousness, this plant can, with the other 3/4 of the year, can increase yield, employment, and resources, Honorable Speaker. Therefore, I wish the committee can think outside the box and stop being messengers of the ECM, because actually the chair here is just a spokesman of the ECM. and the committee is just a messenger because they bring what they are brought to them. Honorable Speaker, when we turn to what they intend to, it's no given time when we are carrying out ADP, the department has shown interest of this request of 200 million so that at least we can put the plant into operation fully. That is an indication that there is need to make the Kalamba fruit processing plant help our people. Because if there was an intention when we are passing the ADPs, there could be that or those special strategy paper, we could have been seeing these figures. They are only indicating the figures when we have questions, Honorable Speaker. The Speaker, in the next concern, because I have articulated severally about the Kalamba fruit processing plant. The Makueni County Integrated Grain Value Addition Plant in Makindu. Yes, we can see the first budget of 168 million was way back 2018, 2019. From then, it's almost 9 years. When we come to the investment, because we have seen how other budgets allocation from the county government, it is totaling to 296 million, Honorable Speaker. But when we question about the operation, about that investment, DCM is proudly saying, we have tested. We have just tested the operation, the green grams and the machine components. Just tested. She's not talking about how we can add value to these produces, how we can encourage our farmers to invest further in farming so that it can create jobs. What we can see is discouragement from the farmers. Because, Honorable Speaker, we can see from 10, only 300 kgs of pigeon fees were tested. We could be seeing packaging for value addition, sales to the supermarkets, so that we can provide ready market for our farmers for all those enlisted produces, Honorable Speaker. And maybe, because I'm saying this authoritatively, I want there. The roofs are leaking when the investment is not already in use. Therefore, I would encourage the committee to go deep down, have facts, and bring proper recommendation of how we can put all these resources into use, Honorable Speaker. The plant that has an investment of almost 300 million has only 3 employees, Honorable Speaker, only 3 employees who are doing nothing because after testing, the plant was closed down. It's not in operation. So you would wonder, why should we engage persons on contract when nothing is generally happening? So we have only 3 employees, an investment of 300 million. When we talk about value for money operation, that farmer could not have lacked the market for those much. We have others, and this first reason to be interested by this investment, it can clearly to be seen it has not taken place, Honorable Speaker. The investment is worth 33 million, but they are agreeing there is no value for money. The feasibility study was fake. It has no included or captured all inclusions, and they wish that there would be some provision. Honorable Speaker, this is not a project that was begun yesterday. 8 years on the line, this is when it was begun, but the people of Makueni cannot enjoy the fruits of these projects. Honorable Speaker, I wish you can give guidelines of how this Honorable House can help our farmers, right from the mango farmers. We are towards the season, the busy mango season. We need to see the government helping the farmers in bringing the gap, because there is this brokerage, the middleman, who could be benefiting from these prices. The 20 bob, the difference between 20 bob and 7 bob is 13 bob. So the middleman is benefiting more than the farmer, Honorable Speaker. If we can have recommendation from this committee of how we can have better structures to reach the farmer, maybe through cooperatives, to ensure that we break this link between the farmer and the middleman and the plant, so that at least we can have better prices for our mangoes. And all this investment can be put in place. The committee should provide the findings after visitation of those projects and maybe proposals on how we can fast track the utilization of these 3 investment farms, Honorable Speaker, with the recommendation. Because what they have brought here, and the chair can confirm, it is just copy-paste of what the ECM provided to the committee. And I guess that's why they don't invite me to the committee, as the practice has been. So, Mr. Speaker, I wish you can guide the committee to do better in favor of the people. Thank you.
Chairperson, your committee visited? You didn't visit?
We did visit some of these projects, but it was not precisely on this statement.
But which projects did you visit?
We visited the 3. We just undertook an exercise to visit the flagship projects, but we did not visit based on the answers. We were just doing a general oversight activity as a committee.
So how is the information that you gained or acquired around, how has it influenced this response? Because the request of the statement is claiming that you have just processed the response from the executive as submitted to you.
Of course, Honorable Speaker, unless we have a leeway of bringing the statement in form of a report, whereby we can make observations and probably recommendations. As long as it's just a statement, we only respond as submitted. So if we have to go a notch higher, probably we can have it as a report. So we'll be able to adduce some of those recommendations. Because of course
What is the status of the report after your visitation?
Since we were not required to submit a report, we didn't go on the line of a report, but
so what was the essence of committee visit?
We have a report. So if you give us a chance to convert this statement into a report, we'll be able to bring in the observations that we noticed and the recommendations. As it is now, we can only respond as a statement.
The question is that what was the essence of, with or without statement? I presume that the essence of visiting is conducting oversight, and oversight must be followed with a report. A report that has findings, observations, and recommendations.
And I agree, and we are in course, but it is not a must that it be correlated with the statement. As a committee, we can come up with a separate report.
Yeah, I'm asking, when is that?
Or when is that? Soon.
Now that you visited, you spent resources, you sought time to be away. The liaison approved, and you visited this project. Where are the observations? Because ultimately, for you to visit, we are expecting observations, findings, and recommendations of the committee.
We have them.
In form of a report.
We have them.
So when will Assembly receive the report to consider?
Probably once it's slotted in the order paper. But we are ready. We can't go to a statement that we are ready.
Fair. So, are you aware that that report was tabled on 16th of October?
What I'm aware is that we have a report. That I'm aware that so we did a report. So whether it was tabled, I can be away a day or so, But I know, because we discussed about
Fair
the
enough.
report.
So, you know why I'm driving you to that corner is you have responses on status of implementation of various projects in the Department of Agriculture based on a statement raised by member for Mulala Emali Ward. That's okay. But again, at around the same time, you conduct a visit on a committee's motion to inquire into, to investigate flagship projects. Then good practice dictates that the response as submitted by the executive committee member should reflect the observations. Or else, in your report, you should seek to address issues that the executive has indicated. Because suddenly, you may find that the undertakings of the county executive committee member in this statement may not be in line with the observations that you made on ground. And therefore, these responses to the answers should influence the outcome of that report, because ultimately we should endeavor to have to have one report, not two. That this statement should enhance your report. Now that you have a report and a response, are there chances that whatever the statements that are directed by the executive committee member are not in concurrence with the findings of the committee? It's a possibility.
I think, Honorable Speaker, what I'm learning, and I agree with you, is that there should have been a way of amalgamating the report, the report that we did submit, with a statement. Because as it is now, it's like we're going two routes. The statement is taking this route, and the report is taking this route, all aimed at converging at some point, whereby we would have brought it together to have the same journey, to walk the same journey.
The requester of the statement has used a light word that you are just conveying the executive position. You have no opinion of your own. Suddenly, you are visited, you have an opinion, you have observations, you have findings, but you are not proving the member that this is it. So you have so much information that you are not utilizing as a committee to better the response and better the implementation of these projects. If you could look at both together, it would be useful to the people of Makueni.
Then I think we can take that advice and then we pull it together.
So the request of the statement, we can hardly deliberate because these are questions as asked and answers as given. The committee doesn't have its opinion on this, much as the committee visited on its own motion the same projects and their findings elsewhere, observations and recommendations that may be in line with this or may be in contradiction to the responses as submitted by the executive committee member. So it is important that we read the two documents together. So to respond to these issues, you should also tell us what were your observations on ground and whether you are agreeing with the executive committee member or disagreeing. And therefore, using the questions as answered by the executive committee member by the request of the statement, then you also use this to get better recommendations to have sustainability in this project. Because what you are stating here are implementation gaps. But you visited the observation on how to deal with them. But you are not marrying the responses and your findings. But then to ask, when you visited the project, were you accompanied by the executive committee member? Yes?
No, she was not there, but we had
So on what basis were you collecting data?
the CEO.
The CEO was present?
Yeah.
Then that correspondence must be demonstrated in a document, whether you're going to complement the response to statement or the response to statement is going to complement the report that you have, so that you have two documents mirroring each other.
Then give us that opportunity to amalgamate the two.
The opportunity is given to you by standing orders. All what we require from you is timeline within which this is going to be done. Aware that we are on the season, it's mango season. Farmers are now growing beans and dengu. So as we resume, we'll be harvesting time. So we'll be keen how you will be responding to issues when the mango season is over. and you had undertaken a visit way before when mangoes were flowering. How will we account for that? So, are you with us?
Honorable Speaker, you know, the essence of this statement is just not to have this literature brought to us. There was always a purpose why we need the responses, put right. And there are consequences of giving false information to this Honorable House, Honorable Speaker. There is an evidence from the Committee of Gender. We had a request about the spending in Mali. They first responded that the spending was 18 million. We come to realize later the spending was 42 million, not 18 million, after several responses from the ECM. We should not just pick a report from the ECM, just bring here without establishing the truth about it. Actually, when the chair is saying they went, the only picture of those who went for that public oversight exercise is Honorable Mateso, Honorable Mutiki, and Honorable Muso, Omusau, Munyao, who went to Kalamba. There's that picture they shared in our group, who went there. It is not the entire committee. Actually, if you question the member, the chair, whether he knows the route to the Makindu plant, he might not take you there. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, we wish to have these facts with us. One, we have serious investment on these farms. One, we have serious investment on these farms.